Pointillism is the technique that I actually founded, and the reason it's different than other techniques that incorporate pointillism and some of the other brushwork is that I intentionally sculpt with the oil paint. You can see how the brush strokes, in some instances, it actually cuts all the way through to the canvas. And for example, with these flowers, they're a variety of sunflower, and they have quite a lot of texture both in the interior and the exterior, and if you couldn't see, you could actually feel the outline of the petals and know the difference between what is the background and what is the foreground as a result. And you can see up here with the mountains and all of the texture, it's all about sculpting three-dimensionally with the texture. This is a model for a transceiver sculpture to be built that's 20 feet tall, and it offsets electromagnetic pollution, and it's part of my art and healing design. I started running 1.5 miles 3 times a week a few years ago, and now I'm up to 6 miles 3 or 4 times a week, and it's just terrific. It's great for circulation, and I love it. But one of the things that I've found that's extremely important is to stretch thoroughly before and after running. One of the first things that I want to explain to you about the Journey to the Fountain of Youth First Step program is about breathing. When you're exercising, you may as well take advantage of the fact that you can create your own aerobics by simply pushing the air out, forcing it out of your lower diaphragm. Just go, force it out. So every time you can, when you're thinking about it, as you're doing your sit-ups, in fact, I'm going to be showing you the sit-up position that I do, and instead of putting the knees together, as you can see, I put the knees apart. And what I do each time I go up with my back, I'm actually pushing the air out, and I'm forcing it out. And then I'm breathing back in through my nose. And I do that each time I go up and back. And the same thing with the other position, where I'm doing a type of pelvic tilt. Then you can see I'm actually stretching my shoulders in the back at the same time, but then I'm also forcing the air out as well. So you push it out from your lower diaphragm, create that kind of noise, and then do that repetitively, and you're actually increasing the oxygen, therefore the aerobics in your blood, which is really wonderful. I believe that aging is a disease rather than a fact of life. Ladies and gentlemen will probably really appreciate the fact that maintaining beauty is not as expensive with this treatment as it is with others. You don't have to have facelifts and your eyes done and Botox and other expensive treatments. You just maintain a healthy environment on the inside and also on the outside. On the Journey to the Fountain of Youth diet, the actual fruitarian diet, instead of starting the day with apples a day, I start the day with 19 almonds a day. And what I do is get a pack of almonds, make sure that they're raw, whole almonds without salt or anything else, and then rinse them, put them in a jar, fill the jar with distilled water, and once they have sat 6 to 8 hours, but not more than 12, then rinse them in a strainer. Let them dry completely, then put them in the refrigerator, and then they're ready to go. It'll give you the protein that you need for the day, believe it or not. And now they're ready to eat. You take them out, and they're delicious. My projects are dedicated to uplifting mankind, and through the World Federation of Nations Foundation, we promote world peace and global enlightenment. One of the projects that we have is a documentary called Peace for Profit, and it's finding ways of making peace profitable. instead of war profitable. It's focusing on the positive aspects of peace.
We're at war. It is the Muslims against the rest of the world. They would like to impose the Sharia law, which for us means replacing our constitution, our legislative process, and take rules and regulations that were established to deal with 7th century problems and life in a very, very hostile environment.
Imagine world peace. What would that feel like? There is no way to peace. Peace is the way, Richard Bach once wrote. The purpose of this film project is to profitably express a message of peace